Hello. So in the last session, we discussed about the topic that was forced damped condition and forced undamped condition. That means we discussed about the forced vibrations. And forced vibrations, that means whenever the body is being acted continuously force on it, or if the force is acting on the initial phase, then it is released, then it was termed to be a free vibration. But forced vibration was that the force which was acting initially is continuously acting onto the system throughout its time period. That was termed as force vibration. So for that we discussed about various equations that we'll be using in the numericals, and now we'll be seeing the numericals pertaining to a force condition. Numericals are generally being asked in abundance as compared to theory from this forced vibration section. So do look at this numerical, and this will be our final session from the module that is fundamental of vibrations of buildings. So starting with our first sum, the question here is determine the magnification factor of forced vibration produced by an oscillator fixed at the middle of a beam at a speed of 600 rpm. Again going through it. Determine the magnification factor, that means we need to find the value of RD. RD, that is our magnification factor of a forced vibration. That means you need to identify from the question itself that what the force system is being given. If it is from the portion that is free vibration, or it is from the portion that is our forced vibration. So it is given in the question that it is for forced vibration which is produced by an oscillator that is fixed at the middle of the beam. Clear? And it is oscillating at a speed of 600 rpm. So that means this is our portion N. Capital N is given to be 600 rpm. The weight at the middle of the beam, that means the weight of this oscillator is 5000 Newton. The weight at the center of the beam, that means the oscillator which is oscillating at the center of the beam at 600 rpm, its weight is 5000 Newton, and it produces a static deflection of the beam equal to 0.025 centimeter. That means due to this weight itself, it is producing a static displacement, that is delta St. So delta St is given in the question to be 0.025 centimeter. We need to neglect the weight of the beam. That means the self weight of the beam is to be neglected. Only the weight of the oscillator is to be considered. And assuming damping coefficient is equal to 20 Newton second per mm. That means it is a sum pertaining to damped condition. It was a sum of forced. So finally it is proved that it is a sum of forced damped condition. Clear? This is how we will be identifying which of the cases that we will be looking upon. So first of all, looking at the data, N, that is our speed, and speed of the oscillation is given to be 600 rpm. W, that is our weight of the oscillator, is given to be 5000 Newton. Delta St, that is our static displacement, is given as 0.025 centimeter. And finally the damping coefficient, that is capital C, is given as 20 Newton second per mm. Clear? So these are the data, and we need to find the value of magnification factor. We need to find the value of magnification factor. That means we need to find the value of RD. And to find the value of RD, the first thing that we will be looking is to find the value of omega dash, because ultimately we will be looking to find the value of R, and R, that is our response ratio. So response ratio is equal to omega dash upon omega. That is the frequency of force divided by our natural angular frequency. So first one, we will be finding the value of our frequency of force, and frequency of force, that is omega dash. Omega dash, the equation is 2 pi n by 60. We have already given in the question that n equal to 600. So substituting here, we are getting the value of omega dash to be equal to 62.83 radian per second. Now after finding the value of omega dash, we will be finding the value of our omega. But omega is equal to under root k by m. Clear? Omega is equal to under root k by m. So we need to find the value of our mass and stiffness. So mass first of all will be equal to weight upon g, that is a gravity. W equal to mg, so m will be equal to W upon g. Weight is given in the question to be 5000 Newton, and g, that will be a gravity or acceleration due to gravity. We will always be taking it to be 9.81. So solving it, we are getting the mass of the body to be 509.68 kg. After finding the mass, we will be calculating the value of our static displacement. So static displacement, that is delta st, is given in the question to be 0.025 centimeter. Converting it into meter, the answer comes out to be 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter. Now we will be finding the value of k. Now k can be either termed into two phases, that is omega equal to under root k by m, but we don't know the value of omega. We also don't know that what is the positioning of this beam. That means the ends of the beam are fixed or hinged. It is not been given. It is just given that the oscillator is connected to the center of the beam. But if the graphical image of the beam is not given in the question, that means we cannot identify that the end conditions of this beam, either it is free on one end or fixed on another end, that means it is the form of cantilever or fixed. So we can't use a stiffness generalized equation that we used to do. For cantilever we used to find the equation by 3ei by L cube. For fixed and condition we used to find the value of k by 12 ei by L cube, but we can't do it in this case. So for this case we will be using the term of F0. So considering our case, this is stiffness to be the subject, the equation comes out to be F0 upon delta st. F0, that is initial force. So initial force will be the weight force, because the mass of the beam is to be neglected. So the weight force will be equal to 5000 Newton, and delta st will be our initial displacement, or you can say the static displacement. So static displacement is 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 4. So substituting here, the value of stiffness is obtained to be 20 into 10 raised to 6 Newton per meter, and C is given in the question to be 20 Newton second per mm. So converting it into meter, it comes out to be 20 to 10 raised to 3 Newton second per meter. Now we need to find the value of R. We have already obtained the value of omega dash. Now we will be focusing on the value of omega. So omega is equal to under root k by m. K, we have already identified that K, stiffness of the structure was 20 into 10 raised to 6, and mass of the structure was 509.68 kg. So solving it, we are getting an answer 198.09 radian per second. So this is our angular frequency, or you can say natural angular frequency. Now ultimately we will be finding the value of our frequency ratio. So frequency ratio, that is small r is always equal to omega dash upon omega. We have already calculated both the terms. So substituting here, we are getting an answer 0.32. That means the frequency ratio here is 0.32. Now we need to find the value of zeta, because for finding the term, that is magnification factor, we need two cases. That is, we need to find the value of small r, that is our frequency ratio, and we need to find the value of zeta, that is a damping ratio. And for damping ratio we need two things, that is C, that is damping coefficient, and C, that is critical damping coefficient. So C is already given in the question. Now we will be focusing on the value of Cc. So Cc, the equation is 2m omega. 2m is already we have calculated it to be 509.68. Omega we have calculated it to be 198.09. So solving it, we are getting critical damping coefficient to be 201925 Newton second per meter. So after finding the value of C and Cc, we will be finding the value of zeta. So zeta is equal to C upon Cc, and the answer comes out to be 0.099. So the value of zeta is 0.099. Now we will be substituting everything in our final answer, that is to find the magnification factor. And to find the magnification factor, the equation is Rd equal to 1 upon under root 1 minus r square the whole square plus 2r zeta square. So substituting here, small r, that is our response ratio, was 0.32, and zeta, that was our damping ratio, was 0.099. We are getting our final answer to be Rd equal to 1.11. This was the question that was asked. Determine the magnification factor. So Rd is our magnification factor. That is our final answer of this question. Okay? So moving on to the second sum. The question here is: a single degree of freedom system consists of 5 meter high column of 600 mm diameter. That means it is a single column unit. The length of the column is 5 meter. And the diameter of the column is 600 mm, which supports the heavy mass of 10,500 kg at its top. That means this column has to resist a mass of 10,500 kg at its top. Clear? The system is subjected to harmonic force. Harmonic force, that means it is given as applied force, or you can say F of t. Whenever the force varies in terms of time, it is termed as harmonic force. Clear? So whenever we are given that the force is changing with respect to time, then this force is termed as to be harmonic force. So harmonic force is given to be 1800 sine 50t. It is given in the equation form. We will be looking now how to decrypt this equation. Now it is also been given considering 20% damping. That means it is a sum of forced damped condition. The damping is given as 20%, so zeta is equal to 0.2 in this case, and E is given as 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. I is not given, so inertia we need to find it. Modulus of elasticity of the structure is given as 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. We need to calculate the maximum dynamic amplitude. Maximum dynamic amplitude, that means X max. Clear? We need to find the value of X max and also state whether the system will have resonance or not. It is also been asked a subsidiary question that after calculating everything, we need to identify that whether the system will be having a resonance or not. So how we'll be checking that, we'll be seeing in the later portion. First, we'll be looking at what actual the figure of the structure is being given. So this is the column that is being given. The column here is 5 meter high and 600 mm in diameter. And this column is having a weight of 10,500 kg at its top. Clear? And it has been subjected to a harmonic force of F of t. So the data that is being given here is mass of the structure is 10,500 kg, which is to be resisted by the column. F of t, we all know that F of t generalized equation is F0 sine omega dash t, but in this case it is given in the equation form to be 1800 sine 50t Newton. Clear? So we will be decrypting these two cases. From these two cases we can identify that this F0 is equal to 1800 Newton and this omega dash is 50. We can pick by this case. Is clear? So from this we can say that F0 is equal to 1800 Newton and omega dash equal to 50 radian per second. So there is no need to find the term omega, that means the speed, or you can say the oscillation speed is not given and we don't need it because directly omega dash is given in the equation to be 50 radian per second. Now we will be finding the value of omega. And to find the value of omega, we need stiffness and mass. Mass is already been given. So now we will be finding the value of stiffness. And stiffness, as you can see here, one end of the structure, or you can say the column, is fixed and the other is free. So it will be behaving just as a cantilever structure. So stiffness of a cantilever will always be decrypted by the equation that is 3EI by L cube. Again, E is given in the equation, but I is not given in the equation. So now we'll be finding the value of our moment of inertia. So moment of inertia for a cylindrical body is pi by 64 d raised to 4. So pi by 64 d diameter is given as 600. So 600 raised to 4. The answer here comes out to be 6.36 into 10 raised to 9 mm raised to 4. Now we'll be solving everything here. E is given as 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square in the question. Substitute the value of E, I and L here. We are getting the value of K to be, that is stiffness is getting as 30528 Newton per mm. Now after finding stiffness, we need to convert it into meter. So the answer here comes out to be 30528 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per meter. Now we will be finding the value of our omega, because we need to find the value of R, and R is omega dash upon omega. Omega dash is already given in the question. Now we'll be moving on to the value of omega. So omega is equal to under root K by M. K we have identified it to be 30528 into 10 raised to 3. Mass is given in the question to be 10,500. So solving it, we are getting an answer 53.92 radian per second. Now from omega dash and omega, we will be finding the frequency ratio, that is small r. So r equal to omega dash upon omega. Omega dash is 50, that is given in the question. Omega, that is 53.92. So this frequency ratio comes out to be 0.927. Clear? So now we will be finding the value of our maximum dynamic amplitude, that means X max. And to find X max, we need the value of zeta and R. R we have already calculated. We will be looking at the value of zeta. Zeta is given in the question directly, that considering 20% damping, that means if the damping is considered 20%, then zeta is always equal to 0.2. So the equation of X max was F0 upon K, under root 1 minus r square the whole square plus 2 r zeta. R we have already identified, zeta is already given in the question. K we have identified, we have evaluated the value of K, that is stiffness. So now we will be moving on to this force, that is F0. F0 is again given in the question to be 1800. So the substituting everything, F0 will be 1800. K we have identified it, that was 30528 into 10 raised to 3. Then the value of R was 0.927. The value of zeta was 0.2. So solving it, we are getting 1800 divided by 30528 into 10 raised to 3. The denominator part comes out to be 0.3965. So ultimately solving everything, we are getting 1.487 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter. This is the value of our X max. Clear? So the X max here, the final answer of X max, that means the final answer of this maximum dynamic amplitude comes out to be 0.1487 mm. And now we'll be finding our second answer. That is, we are also being asked to find whether or to state whether the system will have a resonance or not. So how to find that the value or the system is having a resonance or not? So the system is having the resonance or not, will always be identifying from the value of R. Clear? So since the resonant frequency is equal to 0.927, that means R, small r was 0.927. Whenever this value is near to 1, that means whenever this value is between 0.85 to 1.15, or generalized, if you need to more precise, is between 0.9 to 1.1. Generally, whenever this value is between 0.9 to 1.1, we can say that the system will have resonance. Clear? So the system will have resonance. This has been asked in a GTO examination too. So you always need to identify using this case. Whenever the value of R, that is our response ratio, comes out to be near to 1, that means it falls between the range 0.9 to 1.1, then we can say that the system will have resonance. So this was our sum. This is the exercise problem of today. Do solve it, because generally force time condition has been asked in abundance in your examination, and this was our last sum in this module, that was vibrations of building, or we can say fundamentals of vibrations of building. And from next session onwards we will be seeing a new module. Clear? So this is the last sum of our session. So do solve it, and it will be helpful in your GTO examination too. Thank you.